Hey guys, welcome back to this tutorial learning Java. In this video we will see data types in Java. Okay, first we will see what is data types. If any program is there and you have to give memory to the input. For example, you, you have to give input to something. For that one, data types are introduced. Okay, if a program is there, for example, int a equals 10, you will see print function. What you will say? Print value a. Okay, so what it will do, it will print this value, the 10 which you have given. So this one will come under data types. It will allocate memory to this one, this data. Okay, so there are three types of data types. To understand this one, there are three types. First is primary, second is derived, which can be say in the form of arrays, and the third one is user defined. The three we have just said just now are they're having also other names. First one, the primary, which I have said, it is also called as a fundamental data types. Primary. Other name is or called fundamental, or you can say predefined, or core, or primitive. So these are the name of the same fundamental data type. The next one is the derived data type. And it is having only one name, that is derived, and which can also called as an arrays. Okay, and the third one is the user defined. Okay, it is also called as this is a primary, this is also called as a secondary or custom data type or programmer data type. So these are the three types of data types. Now what are data types? Are used for the representing the input of the program in the main program of the computer by allocating sufficient amount of memory space. Okay, it will allocate a sufficient of memory space in the main program in the computer for representation of input. Okay, now first we will take fundamental data types. Fundamental data types. Now fundamental data types are those whose variable allow us to represent a single value. Okay, with fundamental data types we can't represent multiple values of same type. For example, if you say n is equal to 10, then that's it, it is finished, it is valid. We can't say n is equal to 10, 20, 30. It is called not valid, or you can say invalid. Okay, so these are the fundamental data types, means by representing a single value. This is a small definition of fundamental data types. The next one is the derived data types. The bracket you can write arrays. Okay, is that in this one we can represent multiple values to a single data type. Okay, of the same type, are those whose variables allow us to represent multiple values of same type. Okay, in most of the programming language the concept of arrays is treated as derived data types. Okay, if you are a C or C++ programmer, you already know what is array. Okay, so in this here we will define int a is equal to 10, 20, 30, etc. Okay, but we can't define like this, int a equals 10, 10.5, abc or x, something like this one. it is invalid, because this is the comes under float and this is come under string, so this is different thing. But here in this derived data types you can define this value and this is valid. Okay, we can define multiple values of same type, whereas in fundamental data types we can define a single value of a same type. But if you want to represent other value, then again you have to take the other type. Fine, like n is equal to 10 you can give, but for the next one you have to give x is equal to 10. We can't write in a single line. For defining the various values of a same type, then you have to go for arrays. Now the third one is the user defined data types. Okay, or you can say secondary data types, programmer data types. Okay, user defined data types are those which are developed by the programmer and whose variables allow us to represent multiple values either of the same type or different type or both. Okay, we can define multiple values either of the same type or different types or both. In this one we can define, and in C we use union, struts, whereas in C++ also the example is same, whereas in Java we'll use classes and interfaces. Okay, so in Java, to develop user defined data types we use the concept of classes and interfaces. Now we will see in detail what is fundamental data types. Okay, in Java we are having total 8 type of data types, fundamental data types, which are divided into these 4 categories. Okay, the first one is the integer character data type, the second one is float, the third one is character, and the last one is Boolean. Integer is divided into 4, float is divided into 2 categories, character is having 1 category, and Boolean is having 1 category. So all the calculation will become into 8. So we say that the fundamental data type is divided into 8 fundamental data types in 4 categories. Okay, now first we will see what is integer data type. Integer category data type. Integer category data type means, like, if you want to define a value like 10, 20, 1000, etc., then it comes under integer data types. Okay, and it does not contain any float values, like decimal values, like this one is valid 10.10, 20.10, so this is not valid. Only this category comes under integer data type and is valid. Okay, to represent the integer data type we have again the memory should be allocated in the computer. Fine, the main memory of the computer, an integer category, contains 4 data types which are given in the following tables. Again, the integer has been divided into 4 categories depending upon the memory. The first one is byte, the second one is short, the third one is int, and the last one is long. Okay, the byte is the byte data type, so this is the data type, and here we will write the size, and here we will write the range. The byte having a size of 1, so size will be in the form of bytes only, 1, and it is range from plus 127 minus 128. Okay, whereas the second data type of the integer is short and its size is 2. Okay, 2 bytes, and its range is from plus 32767 to -32768. Okay, the third data type of integer is int, and its size is 4. Okay, and it is having range +x2 -x+1. And the last data type of the integer category is called long, and its size is 8 bytes, and it is range from +y2 -y+1. So these are the 4 categories in which the memory size is divided of the integer data type. Okay, byte, short, int, long. Sizes are 1, 2, 4, 8, and the ranges are here. Okay, in this integer data type, it should contain only the integer values, not the float values, like the decimal values. Okay, now in the integer we have seen that it is taking the only the integer values and it is not taking the decimal values. Then how to represent the decimal values? Then this data type will take the decimal values, that is called as a float. Okay, this is the second data type. Okay, second category data type, which is called as a float category data type. Okay, in this one you can represent the decimal values like 10.20. if it is there, then you can represent this. 10 is called as a scale. This after decimal, whatever it is, it's called as a precision. Okay, like integer has divided into 4 categories of the memory of a computer, whereas float has divided into 2 categories. Okay, that is, first one is the float and the second one is the double. Okay, this data type is having a size of what? 8. Oh sorry, 4, whereas double is having 8 bytes. Okay, and its range is same as it's having 4. Its range is also same as an int, that is x2 -x+1, on double, which is same as a long, so the y2 -y+1. Okay, and the number of decimal places is can take up to 8. Float can take up to number of 8 decimal places, whereas double can take up to 16. Okay, now you will say that how we should represent in that programming language. To represent that in a category of float and double, then what you have to do is a small character should be added, that only differ that it is float and that it is not a float, that it is a double. Okay, so in order to treat a real constant value as a float data type value, the real constant value must be followed by a letter f. So if you want to represent something like this, then you have to write 10.20 f. That means it is a float. Yeah. So if you write f here, then it will be a float. But if you just write 10.20, then it will be a long. Sorry, double. Okay. Double float category data type, which is having an 8 size, 8 bytes of size, and we can extend up to 16 decimal places. Okay. So this is the main difference between the real constant value. So don't forget to write f if you are taking in a small float, and if you want to take a higher value, then highest data type of float category, then don't write f here. Till now we have seen how to represent an integer and a decimal value. Okay, so they both cover the first 2 types of data types. The third one, which I have said, was a character, and here we will represent characters like a, b, c, $sign, okay, anything, whatever it may be. Okay, like hash. this all category, this types of symbols come under character. Okay, now I will define character by keeping C++, C and C++ and Java. So this is the character, and we'll see in first C and C++ and Java. In C and C++, the size of a character is 1 byte, whereas in Java it is taking 2 bytes. In C it will take a ASIC code, whereas in Java it is a Unicode, that is called as an universal code. Okay, here you will get only 256 characters, whereas here it will get 65536 characters. Here how you will get 256 is 2 power of 8, and here is 2 power of 16, it is 265. Now this character, I will say how it will define. We will say character x is equal to, and it can be only defined using a single quote like a. This is how we will define character in a programming language in Java. And in Java the size of a character is 2 bytes. And you will now ask, what is Unicode? Unicode is something which covers all the characters in all the 18 international language, whereas ASIC code consists only 8 important characters to English language. And here Java is the international language, which Java is the language which covers all the international characters. So you can write programming all the international languages. Okay, 18 international languages are there at present, and whose size can be defined as 2 power 16, which is equal to 65536. Okay, this all are representing Java language. You don't have to worry about that. So this is the main difference between Unicode, ASIC and Unicode. ASIC are using C and C++, COBOL, Pascal. The Unicode is used in Java. If they ask in the interview what is used in Java, means like Unicode, and the size is 65536. Okay, and the size of the character is 2 byte, whereas in C and C++ the size is 1 byte. The last data type, category data type, is called Boolean. Okay, till now we have seen how to represent integers, how to represent decimal integers, decimal values, and we have seen how to represent characters value. That Java is consist of using Unicode, that is 18 international language. We have seen their sizes and how much memory they are using, and the last one is the Boolean. Okay, Boolean is what? It will use the logical value. Logical value is either it will be true or false. Okay, so this comes under Boolean. This is for Java. Okay, if you want to see for C and C++, same, like it will be a true and false. For true it will be a non-zero, and for false it will be a 0. Okay, and it comes under integer, and it is using 2 bytes of memory, whereas in Java it is taking a 0 size memory. Then how you will represent true or false? So for that one, Sun Microsystem has implemented a flip-flop. Flip-flop register. You can say in Google what is flip-flop register. It is come under digital system. Okay, a flip-flop register is there, and it is of size 1 bit. Okay, so it is implemented in that one, the true and false. The register stores the 1 bit of information, and 1 represent true and 0 represent false. So this is how Java category data type is defined in data types of Java. So how is it? This is the what Boolean category data type is there. For C and C++ it is taking 2 bytes of memory, whereas in Java it is having 0 size memory, but only one bit, that to flip-flop. In the register it is stored 1 for true and 0 for false. Okay, and this comes to the end, and just the last 4 important points is there. With this the class will get over. The default value will see in all the 4 data types. The default value of integer category variables is 0, okay, for integer category, and for float category variable the default value is 0.0 for float. For character category data type the default value is nothing for character category, and the default value for Boolean category data type is what? False. So by default it will be a false only. Okay, for what? Boolean. This is all the default values of all the 4 category data types which are defined in the data types. Okay, so in this class we have seen what are data types in Java, what are the different types, how the data types are defined in are the 8 types of data types which are defined into 4 categories of data types. The 4 categories are integer, float, character and Boolean. We have seen how the integer is defined into that 4 categories, and the float into 2 and character 1 and Boolean into 1. The 4 is here byte, short, int and long, and for float it is float and double, and for character is just character and Boolean. The sizes also we have seen 1, 2, 4, 8 for integer, float is for 4 and 8, and the decimal values it can take up to 8 and 16, and the character it is a 2 bytes. Okay, whereas a Boolean it is 0 memory size, but the register is taking one flip-flop. Okay, and the characters we have sent a Unicode which is using 18 international languages, and for Boolean we are having the 0 size memory size but 1 bit for flip-flop register. Okay, so in this class we have seen this one, and in the next class we will see variables. Okay, thanks for watching. If you like my video, please click like, share and subscribe.